Fraser Park, home to only about 3,000 people. They are celebrating the win. Store co-owner Andy Khalil is wearing a T-shirt the lottery gave him that says millionaires made here, but they used a Sharpie to change the M to a B, so it says billionaires.
I hope it's one of the local customers who got it.
He says it's a total mystery who won. They have no idea. A custom cookie company has already made them cookies with the winning numbers on them. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Hollywood studios suspending contract negotiations with actors, calling the gap between the two sides too great to keep talking. The SAG-AFTRA strike now 3 months old. Production on scripted shows and movies still on pause. This is ABC News.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Enjoy the fall season with help from Airport Garden Center. Stop by and see our garden experts. They'll help you create a beautiful yard and garden that will come back year after year. And with fall in the air, we're offering deep discounts now at Airport Garden Center. Our huge fall plant sale is on now. Each week, catch a different plant category at 40% off. And all month long, receive 20% off evergreen shrubs, glazed outdoor pottery, and wooden trellises. And it's the perfect time to boost your lawn with a buy 3, get the 4th bag free sale going on all month long on GMB's soil building conditioner. View our sale flyer on the website or social media to find out which plants will be on sale each week. Are you looking for a special, unique gift? Airport Garden Center is proud to support locally sourced items. Full Moon Candles at Pacific Rain Shadow Farms handcrafted soap, just to name a few. Airport Garden Center, planting knowledge, growing gardeners since 1977.
KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding agents, outstanding results, 457-6600. City Council Monday approving a new ordinance that allows the city staff to apply for millions of dollars in state grants to help builders offset some of the cost of building low-income housing. The Connecting Housing to Infrastructure program will allow the city to waive some of the fees normally charged to builders for hooking up to things like water and sewer, as well as some other infrastructure. The grants will only apply to qualifying low-income housing units, though. The State Department of Commerce requires the city adopt an ordinance before it can pursue the grants. That new ordinance was approved and goes into effect in about 5 days.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast. More clouds than sun this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 57. Winds out of the northeast, around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, lows level off around 46. High of 62 tomorrow. Scattered rain showers likely. Temperatures near average Saturday and Sunday with highs in the upper 50s. Scattered showers possible both days. I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 52 degrees.
It's the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP. Now, here's Todd.
And welcome to the program. It's just a little bit of a musical tease for you, all right? All right, that's just a little bit of kind of what you may hear. Not exactly that, but some music from that violinist there, Lisa Barstone, who's coming this weekend, Friday and Saturday, as part of the Symphony's Chamber series. And in to give us a little more than just a musical tease about what's coming up this weekend, we have Jonathan Pasternak back with us. Jonathan, good to have you back.
Great to be back as always.
Let me turn on your mic first. There you go.
There you go. Great to be back, Todd,
now we can hear you. Anyway, as I pointed, that was from a few years back, but this is a back by popular demand. She's been here before, and I believe with the same account with the pianist too that's coming too. Is this a return for both?
That's
so fill
right.
us in.
Yeah. So Elisa was here back in, I think, 2017 playing the Tchaikovsky violin concerto. It was amazing, and we've been trying to find time for her to come back. And anyway, there was a circumstance and I think I spoke about it on this show last October. We had a certain program that we had to change at the last minute, and Elisa was so gracious. She said, "Yeah, I'll come, and I could do a recital, but we have to find a pianist." And she said, "Try Paige, because she's a favorite." So we did, and Paige was available, and they put together a really stunning program for us on very short notice, and it was so well received, and we brought him back.
And we'll see how they go when they had a little more prep time, right?
Well, luckily they've been playing for so long together, and also it was music that they knew. And yes, indeed, I know that they've been really working hard on this, because it's something that is very close to their hearts and mine. My favorite composer, Johannes Brahms.
Oh, see, I learned something new today,
Yeah.
too. Did not know that was your favorite.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, so this is a chamber concert, so it's going to be happening Friday evening, Saturday evening in not at Holy Trinity Lutheran Church on Friday, and down in Sequim at Trinity United Methodist Church, which is traditionally, I think, where you hold most of your chamber concerts now. For those who aren't used to this whole thing, describe what's different about the chamber concerts as opposed to the symphony. Obviously the size, but it's intentionally more intimate.
That's right. And these days we're starting off, we have 3 of these programs, these chamber programs, in a year. One is usually in October, next is in January, next is toward the end of May, usually the weekend before Memorial Day and the Juan de Fuca Festival. And we start off with a recital. It's usually a small group, and then the other 2 are with chamber orchestra, usually strings alone, and with soloists. And you could just imagine that being in one of these church settings, as opposed to the gloriousness that is the PA Performing Arts Center, the auditorium at the high school, which is enormous for this community. It's over 1,100 seats, and this makes for so much more intimacy in the experience.
And really, how chamber music was intended too. If you go back historically, this is what. It's chamber music. It was music that was brought to the chamber of the court, basically, right?
Well, yeah. That's it. Yeah, you could
living room music, I guess you might call it, right?
Yeah, and it really became that more and more in the late 19th century. So. Definitely, it is for a more intimate atmosphere. Even if it's at Field Hall, where Music on the Straight performed some of their things, or at Meyer Hall with 100 seats, these churches seat around 350 if everybody gets very close and friendly. And the acoustics are wonderful. Holy Trinity is a very great place to play. Yeah.
Okay, take us through the concert. What we're going to hear from your guests, as well as the full chamber group.
That's right. So when I spoke to Elisa and Paige about this, I think it was my idea, and I'm just going to take credit for it now, to do an all Brahms program.
Okay.
Brahms wrote 3 violin sonatas, that is, sonatas for violin and piano, and in which the pianist is not an accompanist. It's very much a sonata for those 2 instruments together, and it requires virtuosity for both. And so those are gorgeous pieces. I mean, they're really amazing. They make you smile. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. And the music isn't even in my head right now, which is strange because it usually is. And also there is a standalone one movement called a scherzo, which Brahms wrote when he was 20 years old. And there's a nice little story about this. So there was a violin virtuoso named Joseph Joachim, who became a good friend of Brahms, was also a friend of Clara and Robert Schumann. So for his, I believe it was his birthday, don't quote me, it was for something, Brahms and Schumann and I think it was Dessau got together and all co-composed this sonata for Joachim. And it's called the Sonata FAE. And those are musical notes, but they also mean something. It's a code that Joachim had, and it's in German, frei aber einsam, which means free but lonely.
Ooh.
And yes, very romantic, very, pathos and all that. But later on in his life, Brahms, who always had a twinkle in his eye and was always a great ironist, came up with his own motto, which was FAF, which was frei aber froh, free but happy, or free but glad. But anyway, so there's the FAE Sonata, the scherzo that starts off the program, and the program is in chronological order. And the sonatas span a couple of decades in Brahms' life and his professional career and his compositional style too. But what's amazing is that he was already writing like Brahms when he was 20. The language was there, the affect, everything was there. It's really incredible.
Yeah, for such a young person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So why do you encourage people to come to a chamber concert? You may have a lot of folks who come to the symphony concerts, but never really taken a chamber concert. So, give us a little of the elevator speech, if you will, of why it's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so a concert of live music, first of all, is just a fantastic thing that I think everybody should have in their lives frequently. We love to listen to the radio, we love to listen to recordings, but there is nothing like, and being a performing musician, there's nothing like it. Yep. There's a, not to be woo-woo, but there's a vibration. Really physical vibration in the atmosphere, in the venue, especially if it's a venue that's created for something special to happen, like the beautiful wood, for example, at Holy Trinity Church. So there's a very special environment that's created both by that kind of acoustic being on the smaller scale, where the community can really get together and commune with each other and with the musicians.
Right.
And so it's very special. It's not to be missed.
Yeah.
And you also can get up close and see the performers a lot clearer than you would, for example, at the auditorium.
Right, before we run out of time, tell us a bit about Elisa Barstone and Paige.
Yes, absolutely. Elisa Barstone, I've known for over 2 decades now, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful person. Such warmth, such grace, such intelligence, and a terrific violinist. She's the principal second violin, which means that she leads. There are 2 big groups of violins in an orchestra, and she leads the one called the second violin. So she's the principal, like another concertmaster for that group. And I feel she has such warmth. Her personality comes through her playing, and that's just wonderful for me. And Paige is the same way. Their personalities, although on the surface quite different, and their backgrounds quite different, very much souls that communicate so well with each other. And I think that's something that audiences pick up on immediately.
And they've been together a lot, doing a lot of these, from what I understand.
They have, yeah. And I just heard some wonderful performances that Elisa and Paige, and also Elisa's sister Amy, who's a cellist, did at the Concerts in the Barn out
there
in
you
Quilcene.
Go. Okay,
yeah.
So Seattle area, right? Are they coming over from Seattle? We should point that out.
Yes, yeah. That's right. Although Elisa hails from, I think, Illinois originally, and Paige from Texas. They're both based.
So
there
we get them from far away via Seattle.
Well, there you go.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of how we got you.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I was in Texas. Yeah, and other places.
The tickets. How do we go to the concert? Tell us about that.
Tickets are $20 each for general admission, but youth 18 and under are free. With a ticketed patron, doesn't have to be an adult, could be a 16-year-old with a ticket, and you can get your tickets at the door before the concert. Doors open normally at 6 o'clock. You could get them online at www.portangelussymphony.org. You could also purchase them at Port Book and News. downtown Port Angeles.
All right, and it's 7 o'clock start for both of these programs. Friday at Holy Trinity in Port Angeles, Saturday at Trinity United Methodist Church down in Sequim. Before we run out of time, I'll let you go. Let's talk about what's next for the full symphony. When's your next big concert?
Absolutely. Thanks for asking. Saturday, November the 4th. And this is going to feature a wonderful pianist, Marika Bornacki, who's going to play Robert Schumann's Piano Concerto. It's going to be a very romantic concert because we're also playing music by Tchaikovsky. We're doing his Symphony No. 6, which is subtitled The Pathétique, or The Pathetic.
Yep.
It's a very, very emotional work. And there's also a piece by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart from a late opera called Idomeneo, which also is very romantic in its way. So the three pieces speak to each other, and it'll be a very passionate and exciting evening.
It's very romantic for the start of the season this year.
Yeah, we're kind of like that.
Jonathan, it's always great to have you.
Same
We'll be
here.
chatting before the next concert, but we do hope we get a lot of people out for Friday and Saturday night.
Looking
for the Chamber
forward.
Group.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Jonathan Pasternak there. He is the artistic director and the conductor of the Port Angeles Symphony. And we're going to take a break. And we're going to talk a little other music, too. The JFFA's got a concert coming up you may want to partake in as well. Take it all in this weekend is what I say. And we'll chat about that right after this.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
Don't waste your money on fake, stale, rancid, or substandard olive oils. At Foghorn Olive Oil Tasting Room, our olives are picked green off the trees and processed in 2 to 4 hours and are full of antioxidants. Enhance your fresh fruits, vegetables, and proteins with our healthy and delicious olive oils, always fresh and never, ever cut with unhealthy fake oils for profit. Foghorn Olive Oil Company, open 11 to 4, Wednesday through Saturday.
Septic Myths and Facts, Volume 3.
I use an additive to help my septic system work better.
Washington State doesn't recommend you use any additives in your system. There's no evidence that they improve the life of a septic, and some can even be harmful.
But how do I know if it's working or damaging my system?
By having regular inspections. A list of licensed inspection professionals is available at Clallam County Environmental Health's website at clallam.net/septic.
Celebrate the magic of the fall season with the Olympic Peninsula Fungi Festival, taking place October 13th through 15th in Port Angeles and Sequim. The Olympic Peninsula Fungi Festival will feature talks, hands-on workshops, guided forays, mushroom cuisine, and more from local and internationally acclaimed experts. Live music, a vendor's market, and tent and RV camping will make for a full 3 days of family fun this weekend at the Clallam County Fairgrounds and Dungeness River Nature Center. The mission of the Olympic Peninsula Fungi Festival is to increase access to experiential learning about an array of mycology topics, bringing people together in one of the most renowned ecosystems for fungi on Earth. No matter where you're at on your journey with mushrooms, this festival will inspire something new. Learn more and get tickets at opfungifestival.com. That's opfungifestival.com.
Hey there, Peninsula peeps. Are you tired of shouting at your radio, hoping your message reaches us?
Can you hear me now?
Well, we've got some exciting news. Introducing the McCrory Carpet One Studio Text Mainline, where you can text directly into our studio. That's right. You can now send your thoughts, anecdotes, and hilarious jokes straight to us with just a few clicks of the phone. And guess what? The number to text is the same trusty one you've been calling for years. Yep, it's 360-457-1450. Imagine the possibilities. Want to share a dad joke that's so bad it's good? Text us. Got a news tip we have to know about? Text us. Did your cat do something absolutely adorable? Duh. Text us, and we might just share it on air. Join the fun and be part of the McCrory Carpet One Studio Text Mainline Revolution. We can't wait to hear from you. The McCrory Carpet One Studio Text Mainline. Get texting now. Message and data rates may apply. Standard texting fees from your carrier may also apply. And guys, let's keep it clean, okay?
All right, welcome back to the program. Just want to give a highlight to another musical event happening this weekend on the 14th, 7 o'clock at the Port Angeles High School Performing Arts Center. Gadon will be here. That's part of the Wanda Fuqua Foundation for the Arts. Their first concert of the young season, actually, as they get things going. And I thought I would just play a little bit of music from them. This is a song called Shady Grove, and perhaps this may be something you want to partake in. Tickets are still available. Go to jffa.org.
Red as the blooming rose, I've got the deepest brown. You two darling of my heart till the sun goes down. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Be my wife. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Summertime, as apples in the fall. If I can have to wanna love, I won't have known at all. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go.
All right, that is music from Gadon. They're a new quartet blending Irish traditional music and bluegrass, along with the heart and soul of folk and Appalachian music, which I think you got a little sample of all of that in that track we just played there, Shady Grove. And they are playing Saturday night here in Port Angeles. Wanda Fuqua Foundation for the Arts bringing them into the high school auditorium there. Tickets still available at jffa.org. However, I have 2 sets of tickets I'm giving away right now. So if you give me a call right now, if you haven't won anything from us in the last couple of months, I'll set you up with a pair of tickets. The next 2 callers at 457-1450 will set you up with 2 tickets to go see Gadon 7 p.m. Saturday evening. And I'm sorry, it's not at the high school. This is at the Naval Elks Lodge here in Port Angeles. I misspoke. That's at the Elks Naval Lodge. And again, jffa.org if you would like to get tickets. But we got a couple of pairs for those who call in right now. In fact, you know what? I have 3 pairs. So there you go. Give us a call, 360-457-1450, and we'll set you up.
Red Carpet Car Wash in Carlsberg salutes our military veterans, active duty, and first responders each and every day. This isn't a special or a one-time deal. 365 days a year, Red Carpet offers 10% off all services to this special group. Please let them know who you are so they can honor you. And for Purple Heart recipients, you'll receive a free wash anytime, every day. Please accept our appreciation for your service and sacrifice. Red Carpet Car Wash, open Monday through Sunday, 8 till 5.
Stick out your tongue and say, ah, it's the craziest thing you ever saw. Here at Olympic Game Farm, they say howdy with a wave of a paw. Now it's hard to steer clear of the elk and the deer when they pop in to say hello. They've got lions and tigers and bears. Don't forget about the buffalo. It's impossible to stay calm. So come out with your dad and your mom. Canine and feline, you'll find us online at onlygamefarm.com.
Well, surprise, surprise, we did finally get contact with Jacopo Ventura, who we're going to spend a couple of minutes with. He is from Godon. Jacopo, thanks for finally making contact with us. We were trying to get you earlier, but we couldn't, but now we did. Thanks for coming on the air for a couple minutes.
Thank you.
I just wanted to...
Thank you.
We played a bit of your music just a minute ago. We played a bit of Shady Grove there for folks to get a feel for what you'll be bringing to Port Angeles. Tell us a little bit, though, about your group. You're relatively new, but you're certainly been around a long time. Your whole group has been as musicians.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Actually, just wanted to say I'm not Jacopo, I'm Johan, because Jacopo's unavailable at the moment.
See, there you go. Okay, Johan, one of the other guys in the quartet. All right, well, it's good to talk to you. So tell us a bit about Godon and kind of how you got together and what it's really kind of a very unique style of music you present.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the thing is, all four of us come from different backgrounds in music. Well, we all play folk music, of course, but the thing is, not all of us actually play Irish music for once. So, for example, Jacopo himself plays a lot of European folk music, and Andrea plays a lot of American folk music, and me and Lorenzo, we play a lot of Irish folk music. So that's sort of how the idea for the band came, because we wanted to actually try to make a mix of all this and see what could come out.
Is this fun for you guys to play? Are you enjoying this kind of style of this blend, if you will?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's amazing. We have a lot of fun.
Now you are out on a tour, which is one of the reasons why it's tough to get a hold of you folks, because you're all over the place. Tell us a bit about what you've been doing, where you're at, and where you're coming from before you get up here to Port Angeles.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we started the tour a couple weeks ago. We had one date in Milwaukee, and then we flew to Los Angeles, and we started the tour on the West Coast. So from San Diego all the way up to Seattle and Port Angeles. So we're going to have a couple more days here, maybe 4 or 5 days, and the last day is going to be in Seattle, and then we're going to fly back home in Italy.
What is the best part, in your personal opinion, the best part about your music when you get out and play in front of an audience?
Oh, that's a good question. Best part? Well, the thing is, we play mostly Irish music and American folk music, but I think not many groups play it the way we play, because there are so many groups that play Irish music all over the world, but I don't think there's many Italians that do that. So we sort of have like our own view in it, and I think that the audiences hear it. So I think that's the best part of it, probably.
Yeah, and in the clip I played earlier, you really can tell, and it's just such a unique blend as well. Describe for folks what you're bringing to instrumentation, so people know what to expect.
Yeah, so we have 2 banjos, so that's quite 4-string banjo, so tenor banjo, which is normally used in Irish music, and then 1 5-string banjo, and a fiddle, and we also have a stombox or some sort of percussion element.
Vocally, do you guys share vocals? How does that work, or do you have one person that's pretty much handling that?
Yeah, we have a lead vocal, which is Andrea, the 5-string player, and but we all do some sort of background vocals. Yeah.
How do you pick the music that you put together? How do you come up with that?
Well, normally it's we have many sources of ideas. Yeah. For example, most of the American songs we play, it's Andrea, the 5-string banjo player, who gives us the ideas because he's the most knowledgeable about the repertoire. And then with Irish music, well, we come from an area in Italy where the Irish influence is quite strong, because there's like some schools of Irish dance or like Irish music, and there's a lot of Irish sessions going on, so we'll have sort of experienced Irish music that way. So that's where we take the ideas, maybe, I'd say.
Right. All right, before we let you go, your name, how did you come up with it? What does it mean?
Yeah, so Gadan, it's, well, it sort of sounds Gaelic, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's actually a word in the dialect where we come from. It would be normally pronounced Gadan, and that means silly. So, yeah, so we like
exactly
like silly boy, something. Yeah.
Well, anything but silly, although I do know, watching some video of you all, you do have a great time when you're performing, and I'm sure we're going to see that energy up here as well. Thanks for getting away and off the tour just long enough so we can squeeze you in for a quick interview. I just wanted our listeners to get an actual voice with one of the performers coming up with Gadan, and we'll see you up here on Saturday night, okay?
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Oh, you got it. Get back at it. So, all right. Gadan is going to be at the, and I misspoke earlier. I'm sorry about that. They're going to be at the Naval Elks Lodge in Port Angeles downtown, and but still a 7 p.m. Concert on Saturday. And I still have one pair of tickets left. If you would like to go, give us a call at 457-1450. We'll set you up with a pair of tickets to go hear this really interesting combination of music on Saturday night. And if you don't get those, you can still purchase tickets online at jffa.org. There are plenty of tickets still available, and it should be a great show on Saturday night.
Building a future, sharing a dream, working together, we're on the same team.
At Straight View Credit Union, we know that buying a home is a big decision, and that's why we're committed to offering local decisions made by local decision makers. Our mortgage team is comprised of experienced professionals who are intimately familiar with the Clallam County housing market, ensuring that you get the personalized attention and expertise you deserve. We're here to help you navigate the home buying process and make the best decisions for your unique financial situation. Plus, as a member-owned cooperative, we prioritize the needs of our members and our local community over profits. That's why we're proud to offer great mortgage rates that help support our members' dreams of homeownership. Straight View Credit Union, your trusted local financial partner. Visit us online at svcu.com or stop by our branch on Lincoln Street in PA. Insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
National Kerostan Month is underway now at McCrory Carpet One, with prices starting at just $2.99 a square foot for carpet and $4.99 a square foot for LVP. If you desire timeless flooring for your home or business, Kerostan flooring is flawless, long-lasting, and made for a life lived beautifully. Right now, get 12 months of 0% financing OAC and free delivery. When it comes to the perfect flooring, there's no better combo than Kerostan and my friends at McCrory Carpet One.
The Washington State News Network, I'm Rob Francis. Washington 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse, the author of new legislation aimed at blocking the reintroduction of grizzly bears to the North Cascades. The bill would eliminate the framework currently being used by federal agencies for the restoration of grizzlies in the region. Newhouse, a longtime vocal opponent of bringing back grizzlies, called them a danger to the safety of communities. The plan under the environmental impact statement calls for 3 to 7 grizzly bears to be brought into the North Cascades ecosystem annually over the next 5 to 10 years. The goal is to have a founding population of 25 grizzly bears in the next decade. An armed assailant carjacked a Lexus and led police on a journey that began in Fife and ended at an apartment complex in Tacoma. The vehicle was equipped with a tracking device that helped police find the suspect at the Madrona Apartments. The suspect abandoned his prize and fled inside the complex. Police then surrounded the apartments and, after a standoff, took the man into custody and booked him in the Pierce County Jail on charges of first-degree robbery and several felony warrants. The Spokane County Board of Commissioners has passed a resolution in support of Measure 1. It would raise the sales tax to fund a county jail, along with local criminal justice, public safety, and behavioral health. The vote comes a day after Spokane City Council voted to oppose the measure that will appear on the November ballot. For more on these stories and others, download the WSNN mobile app or visit our website, WashingtonStateNews.net.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast. More clouds than sun this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 57. Winds out of the northeast around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, lows level off around 46. High of 62 tomorrow. Scattered rain showers likely. Temperatures near average Saturday and Sunday with highs in the upper 50s. Scattered showers possible both days. I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 52 degrees.
All right, welcome back to the program. It is Thursday, our last segment or two here. Business Bits time, and that means we bring in our business guru, Kevin Holt, to join us. Kevin, good to see you again.
A pleasure to be here on this chilly afternoon.
It is. As you warned us last week, you're going to give us the 7 secrets of borrowing from friends and family.
If you dare.
If you dare. And I don't know. I'll just start this and let you go with it. Fair. I've always been told don't do that.
Well, there's an old poem talking about neither a borrower nor a lender be. However, and I think personally that makes a lot of sense. Dave Ramsey talks about the danger of personal debt and personal credit, and it's certainly something that shouldn't be taken lightly in business. But in business, we don't talk about debt; we talk about leverage, because the reality of it is that a properly constructed business loan ask expresses to the lender that you have found your way into an opportunity where if you can rent a little bit of money here, that will give you the bridge to climb over to a big pile of money over here. And so primarily the difference, and again, our following show, Dave Ramsey talks about this at great length. If you're borrowing money to fill a pothole, you are making a mistake, because that means that somewhere in your financial flow, there's a shortage that you're not addressing. And now you're taking on debt, you're renting money, which is increasing the size of the pothole. So putting out the fire with gasoline, whatever phrase you want to use. The difference being a properly constructed business ask is saying, once again, to repeat it, there's a big pile of money over here, and I'd like to rent some money from you to build a walkway to get over there to get that money for both of us. And so a couple of things that we'll chat about today. The first thing I think I want to talk about is why you borrow and why they lend. All right, so you borrow, hopefully, because you have already identified the big pile of money, and you've laid out the pathway to get there, and you see this one little chasm that you need to get over, and you need to rent that money to get there. If you're borrowing for any other reason, then you want to step back and say, is this the right way to go? Because if you're borrowing because you think you might need money, or you don't know what you need the money for, you're walking into trouble, especially if you borrow from friends and family, because you're not only creating a financial problem for yourself, you're also creating a personal social structure stress. And we don't want to see that happen. Now, why do people lend? And I think this is really fun to think about, because getting into the lender's head helps the borrower create a more attractive proposal. I've been fortunate to work with some local lending groups. The very famous one in Port Townsend is the Lion, the Local Investment Opportunity Network. And that's a node of a national network of local lenders, peer-to-peer lending, they like to call it. It's the old early 2000s phrase for it. And what that helps us get our heads around is making a more attractive ask. And so over and over again, working with peer-to-peer lenders, people who are living in their local community and wanting to invest in it, this is the spirit that you hear, that our family sat down and looked at it, and we realized that we have a small amount of money that we could put into the community, and if we lost it, it wouldn't change our life. And so we're willing to put it at risk. And whether you're going to the casino or loaning money to friends and family, you never want to bring more money than you can afford to lose. So these peer-to-peer lenders will say, I've identified an amount of money that I'm comfortable putting at risk. And I love where I live. And I want to see my community be successful. And I want to support the people that put in the effort and take the risk to create a business to make our community more attractive. So you're starting to see the mental approach. This isn't, I want to loan money to make money. Now, they're going to want some interest, and they're going to want to be compensated for your use of their money. They're still going to rent it to you, but they're looking at this from the perspective of a more 360 degree. Right. What does this do for my community? What does this do for this entrepreneurial person? How much risk am I taking with the money I'm putting in? And is the reward going to be multifaceted? You will hear some local peer-to-peer lenders say, it's a great proposal, but it just doesn't do anything for the community, and I want to put my money here. And so people will come to a peer-to-peer lender with a great financial opportunity, and they'll get turned down because the lender would rather use that money to make the town where they live different tomorrow than it is today. So you borrow because you've identified an opportunity and you need to rent money. They lend because they want to see their community thrive. So I think we've already given away a very important part of your borrowing proposal, which is to say, this is how this fits into the community. And if you're a person who is doing this all on your own by yourself in your basement or wherever, you're going to be less successful because peer-to-peer lenders are very strongly attracted to borrowers who are tightly connected to the community. So if you're at the business association meeting, if your local restaurateurs have a business group, if you are known around town as a person who collaborates and connects with other businesses and helps other businesses be successful with whatever it is your business does, you really raised yourself right up to the top of the heap. And that's the kind of borrower that the peer-to-peer lenders are looking for. I imagine you could find a peer-to-peer lender who would say, sure, I'll invest in your eBay business so you can make a bunch of money from people from out of town for yourself. But you're going to find a lot more lenders who say, I really like the fact that you're going to be doing something here that impacts my friends and neighbors. And so you'll see the opportunity to really get into that lender's head and understand how to really make your proposal exciting. So as you go into that, you want to be on what we talked about before with your path of fundability. You want to have your personal credit in order. You want to have some skin in the game, as the lenders say. You want to have shown that you've invested, that you've put in the effort. You want to show that this concept, whatever it is you want to have financed, really, really works. And so coming to somebody saying, I've got this great business idea and I think it'll be awesome and I'd love for you to give me some money to pursue it, doesn't go near as far as, and again, I think those who've listened before will recognize this conversation. I identified this opportunity. I scraped a couple of things together and I worked on it for 3 weekends and I met this many people and these many people bought and this is what they told me they liked about it and this is how much money I would have made if my business had been properly structured and I didn't just go to the equipment rental store and grabbed what I needed and got into the market. So you don't necessarily have to have a finished product as a started business, but you have to have some things that a lender can look at and say, I think I know what I'm getting into here, because they're certainly going to want to be curious about that. So one more point here, and then Todd needs to take a break. But as you develop your business plan, you want to be able to show that whatever you borrow, you might be able to come very close to paying with the revenue you've already got. Or if you're a two-income family, you could cover this loan if you needed to, so that you're showing the same thing a commercial lender looks for, which is a second source of repayment. So next we'll talk about how you can put together a proposal that's really going to get to the heart of their concerns.
And we'll do that right after the break. Stick around.
Red Carpet Car Wash in Carlsberg salutes our military veterans, active duty, and first responders each and every day. This isn't a special or a one-time deal. 365 days a year, Red Carpet offers 10% off all services to this special group. Please let them know who you are so they can honor you. And for Purple Heart recipients, you'll receive a free wash anytime, every day. Please accept our appreciation for your service and sacrifice. Red Carpet Car Wash, open Monday through Sunday, 8 till 5.
Celebrate the magic of the fall season with the Olympic Peninsula Fungi Festival, taking place October 13th through 15th in Port Angeles and Sequim. The Olympic Peninsula Fungi Festival will feature talks, hands-on workshops, guided forays, mushroom cuisine, and more from local and internationally acclaimed experts. Live music, a vendor's market, and tent and RV camping will make for a full 3 days of family fun this weekend at the Clallam County Fairgrounds and Dungeness River Nature Center. The mission of the Olympic Peninsula Fungi Festival is to increase access to experiential learning about an array of mycology topics, bringing people together in one of the most renowned ecosystems for fungi on Earth. No matter where you're at on your journey with mushrooms, this festival will inspire something new. Learn more and get tickets at opfungifestival.com. That's opfungifestival.com.
As leaves fall and temperatures drop, that means cold and flu season is here. But don't worry, the best defense is a good offense, and we have 2 ways to keep you healthy. First, regular hand washing can help keep cold and flu viruses at bay. Second, protect yourself and your loved ones by getting your flu shot. It's safe, it's effective, and it's your best bet against the flu. So, wash those hands, get a flu vaccine, and let's beat the cold and flu together. Brought to you by Olympic Medical Center.
With the cold weather approaching, here's Andrew Thomas from Everwarm Hearth and Home.
Here on the peninsula, it's never quite as warm as we want it to be, but you can control the temperature inside by coming into Everwarm Hearth and Home and getting yourself a fireplace or wood stove to keep the heat nice and hot during those cold winter months.
Everwarm Hearth and Home for wood, pellet, gas, or electric stoves and fireplaces. See them all at Everwarm, east of Port Angeles on 101, or go to everwarmhh.com.
Hi, I'm John Hull. I'm president of Tri-State Roofing. People tell me all the time about the challenges they've had working with multiple contractors. At Tri-State, you'll have a dedicated production manager helping you with every aspect, start to finish, and we never subcontract our roofing. Right now, we're offering 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 6 months. Call Tri-State today, and we'll be out tomorrow.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
All right, it's our business bit segment. That means our business guru, Kevin Holt, comes in and talks to us. And today we're talking all about, you got a great business going on, asking your friends and family for money, or maybe people that aren't just a traditional bank.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we left, and now you're going to give us some tips as to how you walk that process.
Right. We're going to
and get some success.
We're going to paint the picture that sells the deal. And so we've kind of talked about the mental processes of both borrowers and lenders. But as you talk to these lenders, you've got 2 jobs that you really need to accomplish well. The first is to have a very concise, contained proposal. I need $12,000 to start a business. Wow, how nice for you. However, if, for example, you say, I have a business that is being brought into the market. I've tried the concept a couple of times. It's been very exciting. I've invested my own money to get me this far, and I'm running at about 30% my total capacity. If I could get $12,000 together, I could purchase a new widget maker, as we take a tip from business school story problems, and that widget maker will allow me to capture the other 70% of the market that I can't serve now because my capacity is too low. And with that $12,000, I'm going to buy this machine, which costs $8,000. The installation, hiring the electrician and getting the concrete drilled is another $4,000. I'm bringing it in for $12,000. I've got $2,000 of my own money set aside for any overruns or anything like that. I expect to be able to earn an amount of money that allows me to repay this loan in 36 months. However, if I'm unable to reach that goal, my wife is working, and she and our family budget have looked at things, and we can add to those loan payments if we need to bring it in at the 36-month deadline. Well, that's a little different conversation than I need $12,000 to start a business.
Right.
But the important part is that you've created a visible picture now. And in a way, by telling that story, you've really kind of pulled the person into the process. And again, because these people invest to make their communities better, they're going to be very interested in stories about how that extra 70% of the market that you're going to capture is going to serve your community and make life better here in some way. And so if you decided to start an oil change business, you can say, well, how long did you have to wait for your last oil change? We can get you in quicker, and everybody else in town too. And I'm actually good friends with the guys that run the other two shops, and they're encouraging me to open because they hate putting people off for 2 weeks.
That's right. Yeah, they're too busy. Yeah.
Right, and so you've kind of tied the whole thing together. You've got the market, you've got the plan, you've got a good personal business network developed within your actual market that you're going to operate in. And so now you've got to make another commitment, and that is, now that you've had the good conversation and you've got a concise and constrained proposal, you got to make sure it's the appropriate size. And so if your business is currently bringing in a couple of $1,000s a month, asking for a $50,000 loan is kind of out of whack, because a lender is going to look at that and say, well, that's going to change everything about how your business is run, and you haven't shown me anything that tells me you can run a business 10 times bigger than the business you have now. Now, it is possible to put together a bigger deal if all these other pieces are in place, because what often happens in peer-to-peer lending is, with an attractive proposal, 2 or 3 borrowers will come together. Angel investors do that, and peer-to-peer lenders do that as well, to spread the risk and also the reward, and the idea of joining together to make the community better for some particular reason. There's also some fun here. There was a case in Skagit County when I worked of a person that had a blueberry farm, and they got some peer-to-peer money, and they had 3 lenders participate, and one of the lenders said, I've been to your farm store. I love your blueberries. In our loan agreement, I would like 2 pounds of blueberries a month. And so you have the freedom to do this.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful. We talked about barter and how you can accidentally shoplift from yourself. But if you think about it and work it through, these can be very creative and fun. And depending on what your business does, there's a lot of opportunity there. The other thing now that we've come to these agreements and we're all on the same page. Page means paper, means you better get it in writing and get the paperwork done. I hesitate to name the agreement, because then everybody goes online and prints one out and thinks they've got it nailed, and they don't. But when you go to your attorney to finalize the paperwork on this peer-to-peer loan, you want to work on something called a promissory note. And the reason I don't like to talk about it too much is, first of all, I'm not qualified to give legal advice, but second of all, for a promissory note to be effective and enforceable, and hold everybody accountable, it has to be written in a very specific way, and there have to be very specific words in the beginning and end of the promissory note. I'm not going to say what those are, 1, because I'm not an attorney, and 2, because I want you to get that from your attorney. But the idea is that you'll draft a document that is binding in court, enforceable by law, so that your lenders are protected, and you are also protected, because I'm not going to suggest that anybody is going to have bad intentions here, but when money is talked about, people get confused. And so your promissory note also clarifies and makes very specific your responsibilities to your lenders. And so the promissory note protects everybody. So it's really important to get that, and any writing that you can put together that also clarifies everybody's roles. You certainly want to make sure that you avoid the idea that is talked about a lot in angel investing. Is it an angel? Is it a devil? Is it a vest pocket investor who gives you $25,000 and then wants to sit on your shoulder and tell you how to run your business? That you discover by talking to your prospective lenders and learning how they look at this project and look at life. So after you get all that paperwork done, that paperwork should include a very clear lender exit plan. This is when we're done. And then you've put together a great proposal. You'll pay off the loan. You have a clear exit plan. You know when you're done. The lenders can go back and put their money back in the community. And maybe you might find a need to borrow another round of funding. And you've got the tools to do it.
All right. And the best news, this is all on your website.
It will be.
Yes, you'll put it up there at your business coach
Kevin,
your business
businesscoach.com.
Left out the most important part, your name. Kevin, your businesscoach.com is where he puts all of this great advice for anybody out there that's thinking about or is in the middle of a business.
That's
or maybe
right.
had a business for 50 years.
And needs to upgrade it. That's exactly right. Well, we want to give Todd a little mercy here because he says a lot of words.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And we'll see you not next week on the beach, but the week after.
You got it. And we'll re-rack then. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
All right. ABC News coming up next.
I'm Port Commissioner Burke. We are excited to celebrate a milestone, the Port's 100-year anniversary, and we invite you to celebrate with us as well. In January of 1923, the Port of Port Angeles had its inaugural meeting. From the beginning, our operations led to further development and economic growth. Today, we have grown to operate both the Fairchild Airport, CQ Airport, and as well John Wayne Marina, the PA Boat Haven, our marine terminals, several business parks to further the economic growth of our area. Our essential mission is to support economic growth and development of our area. After 100 years, the port continues to bring people, resources, and industry together to foster living wage jobs and further the prosperity of Clallam County for another 100 years. To reach us, email us at hello@portofpa.com.
This has been your Port of PA Today. Explore portofpa.com.
Your community-minded friends at First Fed bring you the Community Corner, highlighting good things happening right here in our area.
Come join the Humane Society for the biggest fall festival in the county. The Scary Cat Halloween Fall Festival is Saturday, complete with a huge haunted house. The haunted house is big with loads of spooky animatronics. There's a beer garden, a kids area with games and pumpkin decorating, live music, bake sale, food trucks, a costume contest for adults and children, and all for a great cause, supporting the Humane Society. Scary Cat Halloween Fall Festival, Saturday 1 to 8, located at their Squim location, Kitty City, 91 South Boyce Road. This will be a big event, so overflow parking and shuttle service will be available at the PUD nearby at Hooker Road and Highway 101. Come support the Humane Society and enjoy Scary Cat Halloween this Saturday.
Community Corner, presented by First Fed.
News, sports, and information for the North Olympic Peninsula. We're News Radio KONP, Port Angeles, Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. 6 days after Hamas militants carried out surprise attacks in Israel, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Israel, meeting with Israel's prime minister and reaffirmed U.S. military aid. And he also vowed to find the hostages, including Americans being held by Hamas militants in Gaza.
Prime Minister, I understand on a personal level the harrowing echoes that Hamas's massacres carry for Israeli Jews, indeed, for Jews everywhere.
More than 1,200 are dead, including 27 Americans. And in Gaza, more than 1,500 Palestinians have died in the following days of Israeli airstrikes targeting Hamas holdouts. The U.S. also reached an agreement with Qatar to refreeze $6 billion in Iranian oil revenues, recently transferred to a bank in Qatar in exchange for the release of Americans being held in Iran. ABC's Inez Delicuetera is in Tel Aviv.
Hamas is, of course, backed by Iran. Some were saying Iran may have been involved here, that Iran may have financed this whole operation. Important to note that there is no flaming gun. There, publicly, no one has come out to directly link Iran to these attacks. But we are now seeing the U.S. taking steps here to ensure that Iran doesn't get that money, which is interesting. Where I think we're all curious to know what kind of intelligence that the U.S. has now.
On Capitol Hill, House Republicans still at odds on choosing a new speaker. ABC's Jay O'Brien has the latest.
We know that Steve Scalise is meeting with some of those holdout votes behind closed doors and making phone calls and trying to get votes in his column. We know that there's other horse trading going on amongst other members, according to sources that I've talked to, but they're nowhere near getting in the position that they would need to have a vote today, it looks like, that would put Steve Scalise in the speaker's chair.
Democratic Senator Bob Menendez facing new charges in the bribery and fraud case. Federal prosecutors accusing the New Jersey senator of failing to register as a foreign agent. Menendez denies any wrongdoing. You're listening to ABC News.
This is good news, maybe exactly when you need it to. Right now, switching to MediShare can save you even more than usual on top of what you'll save each month by becoming a member of MediShare. So many people are looking for a healthcare solution right now, especially given how inflation is affecting us. And MediShare is the affordable, reliable alternative to health insurance. The typical family saves about $500 a month. You might save even more. And MediShare is a Christian community that's been sharing each other's healthcare costs for 30 years now, and they're making it easier than ever. Apply by October 31st. And you can save an additional $150 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch, like more than 400,000 people already have, and start saving. Here it is. It's 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE, 877-26-BIBLE.
Sam Bankman-Fried's former girlfriend was back on the witness stand today in his fraud trial. Carolyn Ellison testifying she felt pressured to act unethically at the hedge fund that helped bankroll FTX Bankman-Fried's now bankrupt company. New numbers showing Latinos' massive impact on the U.S. economy.
Latinos have contributed more than $3 trillion to the U.S. economy, according to a report by UCLA and Cal Lutheran.
Latinos are the best thing that ever happened to the United States.
David Hayes Bautista is a UCLA professor and founding researcher of this study. And as Hispanic Heritage Month winds down, Beatriz Acevedo, who owns a business teaching Latinos